Yes, hello family. It's on Wednesday early morning, right? And as usual, we want to look at what the markets will unfold for today and the rest of the week, right? So yesterday I did a video and I said that the XY is bullish from the weekly time frame, and this is where we are heading to, right? We want to take that liquidity, and this liquidity too is going to be taken by price, right? And price is trying to trade up to this inefficiency or liquidity void and fair value gaps above there before we come with the bearishness from the monthly time frame, right? That's what the weekly is doing, right? So I want to look at what the daily is saying, right? The daily is doing something very significant that we can't ignore. Right, we can say from the daily it did a little retracement, and it has been running to the upside, right? This was the last break of structure that got our attention previously, but it didn't work. Price did not come to this level, clear the liquidity at this point. Right there, let me put this thing so that it can be seen very clearly. Now I hope this is clear, right? I really hope this is clear. So this was the last break of structure. This is the last push down that the sellers did before the buyers coming and taking control of the market and creating this market structure shift, right? Telling us that price is no longer interested going down, but it is interested into taking this buy side liquidity and this one in that line, right? So we are typically bullish at the moment from the daily time frame, so we are no longer interested into these levels. We are interested in taking this liquidity and this one that's a little bit above, right? But I want us to focus on what happens here, right? After price has created this market structure shift, we want to identify our dealing range, right? It's our swing low, right? Swing low, which is our sell side liquidity. Taking this thing gradually, and it will tell us where we should head to, right? It will eventually show us the direction where we should take our trade from, and that's our swing high, which is our buy side liquidity. After we have identified our buy side and sell side liquidity, now we want to see where price is at the moment, what price is doing at the moment. We take our fifth level of Fibonacci and we measure this move, right? And as we know, price does not move in a straight line. It makes a move. It does a retracement. That retracement is made for internal liquidity, right? Price does not just retrace anyhow without a target, right? Price moves from a target to a target, from a target to a target. Once it has taken external liquidity, we want price to take internal liquidity, come for internal liquidity, grab more energy, and it will continue pushing to its original direction. Right, such now we are in a bullish run. It has taken external liquidity that resulted to this market structure shift. We want to see it take internal liquidity, right? And then we can continue with external liquidity, takes this buy side liquidity and this liquidity as they align in that manner. Alright, so what's our internal liquidity at this point? Internal liquidity, these are your order blocks, alright, fair value gap, whichever you wanna use, right? Mitigation block, breaker block, those are internal liquidities. They are internal liquidities because they have some orders, Right, this is where people took their orders. This smart money, this is where they placed their orders previously, and the price has moved. They want to come back and they take those orders, right? So let me remove this. We have seen that we want to see prices at the premium at the point, and we want to see it come to the discount level before we continue with that move up, right? So what do we have? In our discount level, I can see this volume. We don't have any fair value gap. I only see this volume imbalance. Volume imbalance. Yes, like there. With this large order block, right? This large order block. Right there. So typically this is where I want to see price come to. And then we can continue with a bullish move. Right? And then we can continue with a bullish move like there. So from the 4-hour time frame, what do we have? You can see that prices had started doing that pullback to our area of interest. Now in the 4-hour, this is where we also wanna see adjusting our structure. We wanna see we are doing the refinement of our daily structures so that it also aligns with what we have from the higher time frame. Right, so this is our swing high and this is our swing low, and we have said we want to see price come to the discount, and that's below this point. Right, so let me adjust this. This is so big, and adjust to this last candle somewhere there. Yeah, so typically this is where we want price to come to, right? We want to price do something like this. See, it's coming. So for the rest of the week, we are going to be bearish. Then we can continue with that move up, right? This is what we have from the higher time frame, right? And we can see that price is doing some pullback at the moment, targeting these points. So what we have to do now for us to take our trade is to counter trend, right? We can decide to take this bearish move as it comes, or we can decide to wait price to tap this our order block, fair gap or plus volume imbalance, and then we can continue that movement to the upside, right? Nothing's wrong with you waiting, but for those that we are taking sales, we understand what the market is doing, right? So this was the last break of structure price did, right? I don't want to start making every break of structure. Price details, break of structure, internal break of structure. Let's do that. Let me just break of structure, right? I have a reason for that. This is an break of structure, not really an internal break of structure. So this where for if we have buyers, this the last place that they are, right there. This is their last location. Once we see price closing below here, trust me, we are going to come up to these levels. But that depends on the amount of buyers we have at this point, right? At this demand zone, right? Let me. That depends on the amount of buyers we have at this demand zone. If this demand zone is going to hold the price, then we can say that price is no longer interested going down, and we can reverse from here to take that liquidity, right? That's from the 4-hour time frame. But we have seen from the weekly and from the daily time frame, the daily time frame is telling us that it's trying to push much lower, right? But from the 4-hour time frame, this is fractional, right? What happens in the lower time frame is what will eventually happen in the higher time frame, right? The move must happen first in the lower time frame before it happens in the higher time frame. So the higher time frame is telling us, yes, I want to do the retracement, down to our order block and follow my balance before I continue to the upward movement. But now when we come on the 4-hour time frame, it has not really given us a sign that yes, I want to align with what the daily time frame is trying to do. So for us, the best thing we can do is just to go on with what the market is showing us. The market is showing us that we have a breakout structure, and this is our last demand zone. For us to know this demand zone, it's not going to work unless price closes below this point. Let me show you. The price will come with momentum and a close below, and we want it to have to retrace a little bit, and then we will continue with the downward movement. Right? That's what we want to see. Right? But as it stands now, from our time frame, we are still bullish. We are not doing that daily retracement that we saw coming in. So unless that happens, we don't plan with what the market is doing. So when the price comes here, it will give me confirmation. Trust me, I'll take this trade. But if it doesn't give me my confirmation, I'll wait it to come to this point. Right? So let's see it clearly. And this is the DXY. So typically what I've seen on DXY, I just replicate it to the USD and GBP USD. Euro USD and GBP USD. Euro USD. Let me delete everything. And let's see what Euro is saying. Euro is being crazy these days. These guys have been crazy. Like highly manipulated. You have been crazy these few days. Right, this was the last break of structure we have from the daily time frame. Let's see what the 4-hour is saying. 4-hour date is internal break of structure. Internal break of structure. And reacted from this flip demand zone, not the demand but flip supply zone. And we wanted to create this break of structure. This possible break of structure. But it failed, right? We can see that this candle did not close below here, so it failed. That tells us that we have some rejections, and we want to see price do that upward or bullish retracement, as we have seen from the DXY, as it wants to do that bearish retracement. That's from the EU, but we really don't have an either to take a trade right there. Right? If it had closed below here, then we could have said that the buyers are still pushing price down. GBP USD. GBP USD. Yes, this created a break of structure, as we can see, right? So the internal break of structure, and this was the flip small supply zone that resulted to this change of character. Initially, I wanted price to tap it. This supply zone, then it will continue to the downside, but it failed. It reacted from this fair value gap, and it created this bearish break of structure. So what we wanna see price do at the moment is give us that retracement, right? That's from the 4-hour. It's just the same thing from the XY, but now in an opposite direction. Wanna see it have that retracement, maybe up to this level. Let me decide to reduce these people and tap our supply zone, and then we can continue to the downside, right? That's from the 4-hour time frame. Let's see what the daily has for us, so that we can align ourselves with that movement, right? Don't want this video to be so long. Perfect. This is what we have from the daily time frame, right? This was the last break of structure. Price did just the same as DXY. Are you seeing the similarities? Right, just the same as DXY. It created this market structure shift, right there. This thing is nice, bro. Market structure shift and tap this area, the zone. So this was our swing low, this is our liquidity, and this is our swing high. So we don't want to see price take our swing high, but we want it to take this sell side liquidity as just as DXY was just suggesting, just the same thing. But let's see what's happening. This was the last push, market structure shift, tap to our supply zone, and it's coming down. Let's take our fifth level. Bela. And you can see that price is still pushing. It's at a 61 point, but I wanted to tap this zone. Right, you see this. You can call this another block or a demand zone. You wanna see it? Tap it, do the retracement up to that fair value gap, and then we can continue with the bearish move. Right? That's what I wanna see. The reason why I'm saying we wanna see it tap this fair value gap is that we also have this market structure right there. Okay, this is a market structure shift, and price left a bearish fair value gap right there, small one that we wanna see price tap, and then we can continue with a bearish move. Right? The buyers at this point, they will push price up to this fair value gap, and then from there we will see sellers still taking the market, control of the market, to move price lower. Right? That's what we want to see from the GBP USD. I want to see what I have on USD card. Of late, USD card and USD has been my favorite. They've been moving good, not compared to EU. USD card, you can see it. I want to share it, just like DXY. Right, and the reason is simple. This video is becoming so wrong. The reason is that I had this market structure shift from the weekly. I have another block at this point, right? And I also have another one at this point. But which one is at my discount? Let me take my fifth level measure from this swing to the highest point. I want to see price light from the first order block or the second order block. Any it's fine by me, as long as I have my confirmation. So typically this is the market structure shift. Right? You can see it from this point that price was bearish. Right? This was bearish. Market structure shift, price tapped, created this break of structure, and we wanna see price do the retracement up to this point or this one, and we can continue with the sell. But why I'm saying not the sell but the buy, but why I'm saying I wanna see price sell from where it is at the moment. As we can see, we are doing the retracement at the moment. This is just a retracement, a bearish retracement. And in bearish, what do we wanna see us doing? We wanna see us selling, right? So this is our last break of structure. Price did well to come to our fair value. This thing is crazy, bro. Price did well to tap our fair value gap. Did he tap this ultimate one? No, he did not. But we have this one. This is enough to push price to the lower side, right? Initially, this way I had marked as my supply zone. This was my entire supply zone that I want the price to tap to. Then I will sell, right? But if we can take our flip, we have already done this different move, so it's not necessary that price will up there. You can see we are deep in the premium, and what do we want us to do on premium? We want us selling when we are in a premium level, right? So this fair value gap is enough to push price to the lower, right? Not saying that price is not going to come up to our supply zone, right? It may or it may not, right? So what we have to do at the moment is just to watch price. As soon as it closes below this point, and then we are heading to the downside and take this liquidity for that possible internal pre-call structure. This was our second internal pre-call structure, and this will be our possible pre-call structure as soon as we take this low and close below it. That will tell us that we are targeting this point, right? As simple as that. From the 1 hour, I want to see what I have, right? It's just the same thing. Let's to click liquidity after this fair value gap. So let me mark this one as my demand zone. Demand zone. Perfect. I want to see price being respected from this zone. If it doesn't, that will tell me that the sellers have stepped back into the market and will push this price to take out this liquidity and targeting that higher time frame area of interest below, right? So at the moment, everything is bullish from the 1 hour, right? Until that happens, and then we can say that the sellers have stepped back into the market. Unless price closes below this point, then we can start taking those sales, right? So that's it. I don't want this video to be almost 1 hour. See where I'm teaching some crazy stuffs. Just simple thing, just my market outlook for today, Wednesday. So that's it. Follow your rules, execute your trade, and walk away, right? Just stay intact and always remember you are just one trade away. Sign out.